Okay, viewers, I have this question. What if parenting was a mirror? Like every time you parent, you see yourself there. What would you be seeing? Because actually, parenting is mirroring who you are. If you're a happy person who loves yourself, then you're a loving father or a loving mother. If you're a bitter person and you're bitter about yourself, you're a bitter dad. If you're kind to yourself, you're kind to your children. If you think of any characters, if you are a patient person and you're patient with yourself, that means you're patient with your children, because impatient times come during parenting. Today I want to say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there that are following Parenting with Winnie. We made 3,000 followers and I'm just extremely excited. Like, looking for content is so good because I feel like I'm motivated. I want to say happy Father's Day to fathers that are parenting non-biological children. You took in your stepchild and you just love that kid. Thank you. You know, they say that free men, free men. If you're a free man, you will free fellow men. If you're a stepdad and you're doing so well, you free that dad that left that child. I also want to say happy Father's Day to those dads that don't spend nights out drinking because they know that their children's security at home is important. Thank you. Thank you to the uncles that took their brothers' steps to raise up children without dads. Thank you to the elder brothers that are taking care of their young sisters and the young brothers. Thank you to the intentional fathers that knew that being in the boardroom doesn't mean you can't rock the cradle. Thank you so much. I know of a child, one of my kids takes Father's Day like a very big deal to him. So he made a comment that fathers take care of everyone. They take us to school, they pay our tuition, they do all this. But then he feels like no one does it for them. Like, he pays tuition, he buys food, he pays rent, he buys this, he does this. But who does that for him? And so for him, what he does is save his cash and say, I'll treat my dad. He takes a year to save little money. And then at the end of the day, he takes his dad to treat him on his Father's Day. You're probably feeling like that today. You feel like you're giving too much and no one recognizes. At Parenting with Winnie, we recognize great fathers like you. Thank you for giving up the things you loved so as to parent. Thank you for not marrying the second wife just because you didn't want your children to suffer or to get a dysfunctional family. Thank you for working out a very hard marriage just because you wanted your children to grow up with daddy and mommy. Thank you so much for being that counselor, hero that they need. They say that girls that grow up with that warmth of a loving dad make very good sex choices. And the opposite, you can think of. Daughters that are missing their dads are around, but sometimes it doesn't really matter that they're in because they're not really helping, they're not warm, they're not loving. Those daughters make very poor sex choices because they don't think that men actually commit. They think everything is just casual. You know? So today I want to say that the science of parenting has proved that fatherhood is actually very important in child upbringing. And therefore, I want to say that if you're a dad out there and you are doing your best, thank you once again. A great dad models what a great father is to his sons and to his daughters. Thank you for taking the unfamiliar path of parenting. In the African traditional setting, I feel like maybe not now, but during my time, we were raised in two boxes. There's a box for girls and a box for boys. You keep in your lane, we keep in our lane. Boys were raised to go out and fend for the family, like do all the heavy duties and all that. I come from a cattle keeping family. So our boys were into cows. And then the girls kept the home, were taught homework, cooking, cleaning, taking care of children. So we saw our mothers keeping their lane and our dads keeping their lane. However, today roles changed. With world wars, with all this, with men dying on war, and then factories are empty, women needed money for their children, and all this, roles changed. Civilization came, development came. I feel like we left our boxes. Long ago, when you left your box, you'd be called a name. In Kinyarwanda, if you left your box and you're a girl, you're taking on a male role, you'd be called names like Igishega. It's like a mini man, like you're acting male-like, or maybe Iron Lady, like we hear. But today, we have all left those lanes. And I feel like we are colliding. Because who is doing what? Men are complaining, I cannot come from the office and come and cook. Why are you taking away your role and you're giving it to me? Women are saying, but I left home and I went to work. Then why do you expect me to come again and cook? You know? So it's like we are colliding, and if I have my money, it's my money. If you have yours, it's yours. And, you know, we are valuing things that are not of really great importance. So today I want to say thank you to the men that have realized that the fights are not worth it, and they're doing all jobs. I'm talking about men because today is Father's Day. There are men that are not in bars just because they know that they have to parent. There are men that have talked about the most vulnerable topics to their children. There are men that have introduced financial lessons to their children. They've talked about body changes to their children, both boys and girls. There are men who have learned to do things that they never saw any man do, just so they can raise a youth that won't spend their adulthood healing from their childhood. There are men out there that have taken the role of both mothers and dads because they don't care about who says what, as long as their children turn out right. They are living to leave a legacy. And those are the men I'm talking to today. I want to say that we recognize you. We see you. We know that it's not easy. We know that the battle is difficult. It doesn't end. Sometimes you cross your lines. Sometimes you run out of patience. But we have seen you hold your peace just so that your children can turn out. Thank you for doing that homework after paying tuition and not feeling like someone else will do the homework because I've paid the tuition. Because we say parenting is not a competition. Therefore, today I want to conclude by saying thank you for not remaining in the colliding and the conflicting position that I just mentioned for a long time. Realizing that, okay, roles are changing, but the most important today is my babies, and you have taken up to parent without hesitating. Today, I listened to a daughter tell her dad, "Happy Father's Day, Dad. I feel like you have shown me the kind of man that I should marry in future." Yes, that is what it is. When you do it right, you are setting examples for the young generation. Thank you for 3,000 subscribers. I love you, love you, love you. Let's keep going, spreading parenting messages. Who knows? Tomorrow we may celebrate and say, yes, the generations have changed because us parents have changed. Like we have seen, parenting is a mirror, fathering is a mirror. Be your best so you can see your best in your children. You cannot stand and say, "Oh, I'll be a bad dad but a good friend." No, you know what the saying that say. What the saying is, you, if you're a bad dad, chances are you're a bad friend. If you are undependable, that is who you are to the community and to your friends. If you're a liar to children, that's who you are. If you're a promise keeper, that is who you are. If you are not, that is who you are. So change so that your children don't spend their adult healing from their childhood. See you next time. Happy Father's Day to you all. But I want specifically to mention one person that I've seen a great father. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Mugisha. Thank you for showing me that strength is not in muscle, but it is in compassion. The Lord bless you. Bye from us at Parenting with Winnie.